Welcome back to BEG Wrestling. We are here and live on a Friday the 13th, folks. And we have an incredible show ahead of us, okay? World Team Trials previews. The Magic Man is back. We're going to talk about David Taylor. The Penn State lineup for this upcoming season. In fact, 3 plans. Kevin has 3 separate plans ahead for us. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. AJ and Carter have big-time beef we got to talk about. Bo Basset has narrowed his list down. Wrestle MATNESS 177 to 184-pound bracket, folks. If you haven't voted, I think there's still time left. If you haven't voted, I think there's still time left. But before we do that, there's been a lot of questions, Kevin. Everyone's asking, have you replaced Dad on the show? And so I just want to address that and let everyone know that, yes, Kevin has officially replaced Wayne, folks. Wayne's gone.
No.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Wayne's taking the regular season off, okay? He's going to be back soon because wrestling's back soon, folks. But, Kevin, how's your week been? Folks, before I throw it to Kevin, again, like and subscribe to the show. We're discussing everything live. So any of these topics, you can call in and discuss with us. Now, we're going to have a time limit. We have a new time limit this week, Kevin, but the link is in the description, folks, along with the BEG Wrestling Store, in case you want some swag like this. Dude, this is some sweet swag. Someone's bought some stuff last week. But an incredible show tonight, Kevin. How's your week been, man? We got a lot to talk about. So much, man.
Very good. How about yours? Everything cool?
Good, man. I'm ready to talk some wrestling, dude. It's right around the corner, dude. David Taylor is back, and I got a lot of strong opinions tonight, man. So,
good.
Yeah.
Good. Look forward to hearing them. Yeah, I mean, how about that? You know, it makes you wonder how long he's planned this for, because it's not like he just woke up last week and said, I think I'm going to give it a whirl, and started training. He's had to have been training for a while, thinking maybe he was in the room, you know, and he just got the itch, and he started training with the guys, and all of a sudden found himself in shape, you know, and he's got to be confident enough to, you know, he's not going to go in there like a turd. Like he's got to be confident enough to know that he's capable of winning, and I think that, and a lot of people give him some slack, but I think it's good. It can show good, like, team morality, you know, like just he's showing his team how he trains for something, and I think that can be good too.
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it, Kevin, and we talked about it, I believe, in last week or the week before show when it initially came out that he was thinking about entering these. But, you know, is it a recruiting tool or is it an asset? Are the people who are paying him happy about this? I can't think so, but I do know that they had to give their approval for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously they have an angle. It has to be a recruiting angle.
They said that the AD and everything said that it was a great marketing tool, what he's doing now. So, you know, that's how they feel about it. Now, he's going to – another part of me that makes this really interesting is if he does make this team, there's been word that both Sadulayev and Gasimpour might be in this bracket as well at Worlds. Gasimpour from Iran, 2-time world champ, and Sadulayev, obviously, everybody knows him. He's beaten Schneider several times, and he supposedly – might be going down to 92 kilograms for Russia and wrestling in this. So that's huge, man. Who would have thought that the non-Olympic world team trials and the non-Olympic worlds would have such incredible storylines going on, you know? And you include Jordan Burroughs being back, and he's going to have the trials in his hometown. We haven't seen Vito in forever, and we haven't seen him in freestyle since he last won a gold medal.
Well, Kevin, since you're talking about, let's dive into the World Team Trials previews here. I put up the 92 kilogram because you're talking about David Taylor, so we have those seeds up here. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of people to talk about. But real quick, folks, the quick commercial before, I should have explained, I apologize. I actually had the opportunity to shoot with 88 Visual, who are multi-Emmy award-winning videographers here in Frederick, and that was just a little
That's awesome.
reel I made for them, but it was a cool day, man, so a lot of experience. So good news for all you wrestling fans. BEG Wrestling is only going to be getting better. But, Kevin, I have the 92-kilogram weight class up here. Anyone that you want to mention here in particular?
Well, yeah. Now, obviously, David Taylor moves into the 1 seed now that he's registered. He wasn't on there before. And people are asking, why is it that Zahid gets the bye to the best 2 out of 3 and not David Taylor? He's a world champion. The reason being is Zahid was a bronze medalist at this weight class last year at Worlds at 92 kilograms. David Taylor was a gold medalist at 86 kilograms. So I know 86 is tougher. It's an Olympic weight, but it's irrelevant when it comes to this. So that's why just Zahid is going to get the bye to the finals, while Taylor, despite being a world champ, is going to have to go through the bracket. But you got, there's going to be some interesting matchups. You never know what Patrick Downey's going to be up to. He looked really good in that event we saw him in, that Jason Nolf and J.O. did. So he's always tough. He wrestled Staraki tough at the Olympic trials for, a good 4 minutes. Period.
Yep.
Outside of that, though, really, I'm looking at the top 7 guys are interesting. I'm not saying that the top 7 guys can win, but there's just interesting storylines. Like Aiden Sinclair, he's so young. Get a good glimpse of him facing senior level guys. Patrick Downey's always interesting. Machiavello is one of BEG's favorites now, right? After we interviewed him, what a good dude.
Oh, I can't wait to watch him. Yep.
And Trent Hidley is just an animal, and he will test the gas tank on Zahid and David if he wrestles him. So, looking at this, I don't see any other. I just see it, David Taylor and Zahid. What about you? Do you see anything different coming out of here? It's tough to say, right? Because we don't know what kind of shape he's in.
I hope for Mock. I'm rooting for Mock. I'll say that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's hard to disagree with you there, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's, best 2 out of 3, and everybody's going to finally see it, because, a singlet pull away from facing Taylor. We'll see how these two match up. And you know what? Anybody that thinks that David Taylor is just its next topic is crazy, because Zahid is tough. And we saw him take Brooks to the limit. He did a lot more against Brooks than David Taylor did last time. So,
I would argue that Zahid would have beat Taylor if he got past Brooks there. So
yeah, me too. I agree with you.
But then we also just discussed what you said. That was obviously not the best David Taylor version. So
yeah, I think it's
better?
weird too, because it's like I would ask, okay, why would he show up to this in shape when he didn't, or at his best, when he didn't show up to the Olympic trials at his best? Well, I think a couple of things. One, I think he thought he could just kind of skate by, maybe, not being, totally committed. And also,
definitely
I heard that cut is actually hard for him. That weight cut's hard for him, believe it or not. So there's a couple things, and, he just thought he could not train as much. And then now, he gets in the room. Sometimes people just need a fresh scenery, man. He's been in the Penn State room for how long with those same guys, same stuff. It's the same thing I say about Yanni. I almost wish Yanni would go somewhere else just to get some scenery. But, it's just you get out, you get fresh, you feel revived, and next thing you know, he's training like an animal because he's a competitive guy, and he's not going to do this unless he's feeling really, really good about himself. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree, and I would also agree that he has a new motivation, a new inspiration, being in a new room, being a new head coach for the first time. You know what? If he goes out there and wins it, then I guess that is good for recruiting. How could you argue that?
Absolutely.
Not great if he doesn't, though, and Zahid is right there. But let's move on. What weight class you want to talk about next here?
I'm going to just go 61.
All right, we'll go 61 here. Seeds are up.
All right, so interesting about this weight, you got Vito waiting in the finals because he's the defending world champ 2023 at 61 kilograms. You actually have the last 2 years worth of Final X finalists in this, which is crazy to think about because it's a non-Olympic weight. But we have Nishan Garrett and Vito, which were last year's Final X. And then the year before, we got Dayton Fix and Seth Gross, who were the Final X guys from 2022. So we got all 4 of those guys in there. We got young Marcus Blaze and Jax Forrest seated 5th and 6th. 2 guys that are in high
sleepers. School. Fascinating to see where they come out of this.
And we saw how tough he did against Gilman at the Olympic trials. Remember that? He only lost to him by a point. He was on him. And
who's that? Jax?
He's got a real tough style, man. And then you got like Nasir Bally is just a massive 133 pounder. Him and Crookham are just so big. So he's Nasir Bally's tough. He's really good on top. I'm curious to see how he is in the parterre position because in folk style he's great on top. But yeah, looking at this, it's the same kind of thing where I find it where the top 7 guys, maybe 8, are they have their own storylines, very interesting. Got Austin DeSanto in there, which he's always full force. But then it's kind of a drop off. But all these weights, the quarterfinals on are great. They're gonna be very entertaining, and that's just so everybody knows. That's tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, Saturday.
Tomorrow,
and Sunday.
Folks. This is happening. Wrestling is happening tomorrow, man. That is exciting.
Yeah, and they're waiting to put the final brackets up until everybody makes weight in the morning. They want to make sure people show up and all that jazz. So
which is why we don't have the brackets up, but yeah,
right.
I mean,
yeah. Every time I do the brackets, man, it just ends up being completely different. So I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, why even waste time? But
Nishan Garrett, I heard them talk about Nishan Garrett on Flow, and they were kind of saying that he's inconsistent. But I'd have to disagree with that because Nishan Garrett, he has lost to Vito every time he's faced him in freestyle. But last year, he showed up like an animal at the U.S. Open and the trials. He teched everybody he wrestled except for Fix. He won by like 8 points. But he blew out all his opponents. He looked great. He lost to Vito by a point in one of the matches. And that was one of the more entertaining 2 out of 3s I've ever seen in Final X was that Vito and Nishan Garrett. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that Vito's healthy. I know not going down to 57 kilograms is going to help in his health. But, I wish there's a couple guys in here. I wish Nick Soriano, there's someone mentioned there.
Christian B commented, sad no Soriano. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
It stinks not having him in there. But you know what? These usually are not looked at as exciting events, these non-Olympic trials. And this year, it's totally different. So, yeah, looking at this, I got it. It's big question marks on how is Vito doing and how is Nishan Garrett. Has Nishan Garrett continued his stuff from last year? Because he's never been on a world team. He made a world team, but he got injured. So he couldn't go at 61 kilograms a few years back. And then controversial match. He lost to Ramos years back, which was controversial. So he hasn't been on a world team, so maybe he's hungry. But I hope it is Vito and Nishan because that's an amazing matchup. I don't see DeSanto or Fix or Gross beating either of those guys. But I am curious to see how the youngsters do against those, 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds.
I agree. Anything outside of those top 2 would be an upset. I think if anyone has a chance, I think it might be Jax. The recruit on the open free agent market, folks, colleges, but I think I'm going Vito here, Kevin. I think the last time we saw him on the mat, he looked pretty great, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's 4-0 in freestyle against Nishan, and because all of Nishan Garrett's strengths, his explosiveness and speed, are also Vito's strengths, and Vito's just a little bit faster, explosive. I wouldn't say stronger, but I'd say more explosive, if that makes sense. So.
Well, like you said, as long as he's healthy. But, hey, let's move on to the 70-kilogram bracket. Okay, we got the seeds up here. Go ahead.
Nobody's sitting out at this one because we didn't have a world medalist. Well, we did. Zane Rutherford was a world champion, but so
now
he's
retired. Zane now retired, correct?
Yep. Yep.
officially
yeah,
retired.
with an
So,
option to
hey,
come back, he's coaching. He's coaching.
he's
With
coaching.
Nick Lee there, Penn State. They're going to grab everybody to coach there. Why wouldn't they? But a couple interesting things here. Really interesting. Alec Pantaleo and James Green. This is 70 kilograms, Alec Pantaleo and James Green, not 65. Two totally different guys. James Green at 70 kilograms is an animal, okay? But every time he goes down to 65, it's not good. He lost to Mendez, a close one in the trials. But I remember watching, Yanni wrestle James Green several times, and at first I was like, man, I don't know if Yanni's gonna be able to. Yanni smoked him every time, 5-0, 6-0. He's just a different guy. 70 kilograms is perfect weight for him. Same with Alec Pantaleo. I don't know how he made 65. I mean, anything short of amputating an arm or a leg, I have no idea how he made 65, but it was a brutal cut for him. Jordan Oliver, I'm so excited that he's coming back. He's one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. He's one of the best leg attacks in the entire world. Just a beast, real nice
MMA
dude.
fighter, former wrestling legend, man. We had him on the thumbnail. How many opportunities are you going to have to put him on the thumbnail?
Yeah.
But right behind him, PJ, your boy Duke.
PJ Duke. How curious am I on how he is going to wrestle against these senior level guys? Now, I know a lot of people are like, I can't believe he's doing this. He just got done with, the U20s. It's like, this is a perfect time for him, man. He is at top level right now. He had his tournament last week. Yeah, he might be a little jet lagged or something, but he's a youngster. He'll be fine. And I'm curious,
is this crazy, man? PJ Duke, James Green in the finals.
Here's the thing. I can't, for the life of me, picture Duke beating a Jordan Oliver.
Really?
But they wouldn't face each other, though, would they?
No, I mean, we don't know the bracket, so we can really speculate on any of these matchups.
Yeah. PJ Duke he has to realize something. PJ Duke is one of those unique wrestlers that he can go upper body with anybody, and he has. But he's also so slick on foot sweeps, leg attacks. But at U20s, you saw a few times, I don't know if you recall, but he was trying to, he'd get in a seatbelt, and he would just body lock, and because he was used to just picking dudes up and slamming them down in high school and crushing them, because that's what he does. Now, he couldn't get away with that in a couple of the U20 matches, at least not the first period. He did in the second period. He was able to pick the guy up and throw him down, but he's got to realize that
stronger.
these are not high school.
But he's got that James Green man strength, dude. Oh,
yeah,
Jordan Oliver man strength. Does PJ
also
Duke have man
Jordan Oliver, Jordan Oliver, he was suspended for a year for smoking the ganj. So, I'm curious to see how he is, but if he's on, dude, he's an absolute threat to win this. Another one, Jarrett Jekis, I don't know if you remember, but at the World Team or the Olympic trials, he was a huge surprise. He beat Vincenzo Joseph first. I'm trying to think who he beat second, but he had a big run. He actually placed, I think, third or fourth. But that was a huge surprise to me that he beat. Oh, he also beat Berger, Tyler Berger, Vincenzo Joseph, and someone else really good. And I was shocked by that. So he's really good at freestyle, and he's seems to be doing a lot better than he did even in college. So that's someone to watch for. Evan Henderson, he's been in Final X. He wrestled Yanni in a Final X in 2022 when Yanni won the silver. And then this weight is so deep. You got Bryce Andonian. Who doesn't love watching this guy? Oh, my God. Dude, I made a highlight.
Johnson down there.
Yeah, I made a highlight film of Andonian wrestling Meyer. All 3 matches. I did the highlights. It's sick. I got to show it to you sometime. It's awesome. These guys are crazy. The whistle blows, they just go right after it.
Which, by the way, hey, Kevin, real quick on Andonian, NCAA just approved the 6th year, correct me if I'm wrong there, for eligibility.
Yeah,
a 6th year, is Andonian, can Spencer Lee come back, dude? What is going, 6 years?
Now, just to be clear, that's not for next year or this season. It's not for next season. But, yeah, they were saying that a 5 years plus a red shirt, because the NCAA is just like, let's get some more money. It's basically for the football and basketball players, But when it comes to that stuff. We don't need guys in there for 6 years. We just got over the COVID bullcrap year. Now we don't. Now we got this.
Well, I also agree
that,
with you. It's for money, man. And
yeah.
now that they're losing money to the NIL deals, they're not getting money like that anymore, and so they need to find a new revenue stream. But
yeah, it's so Panero Johnson, obviously one of the most dynamic on his feet. He's very, very dangerous. Yaya Thomas went overseas and got medaled somewhere recently. And then Will Luan, say what you want. He is a age-level world champion. I know he's not the most exciting guy to watch at times, but he does win.
Will 1-to-1?
Yeah. I haven't heard that one yet. But you go all the way down this, man. You got the youngster Vince Bouzakis, high school guy. Daniel Cardenas from Stanford. By the way, I heard that Daniel Cardenas is going to redshirt this coming season from a pretty decent source. That's actually really big news because he right now is seated third at 157 behind Teamer and Meyer. But he has given Meyer 2 of his only 3 collegiate losses. Meyer got the best of them 10-4 for third place in NCAA's, but Cardenas is tough, so that would be a big red shirt if he does. So that would be
Shapiro would throw a party.
Teamer, Shapiro, and then it would be Kazak in the seedings, or the rankings. And then you got.
But we're gonna talk about the Penn State rankings and red shirts here just shortly, folks.
Yes.
Stick with us, one more weight class.
And then Caleb Larkin, we saw him wrestle Yanni really tough at the Olympic trials. And then Ian Parker, veteran, Wyatt Sheets. So yeah, Abbas, really good weight here. And Ryan Jack, yeah, you can see him down there.
Who you picking?
I mean, you can go all the way. 19, like you can go 20 deep in this bracket. You know, it's tough.
It's going to be fun to watch. And again, folks, it is happening tomorrow. But Kevin, before we move on to the final weight class here, who are you taking to come out of this?
Man, I'd love to see Jordan Oliver wrestle Duke in the finals. It would just be awesome. I'd love one of those guys to win. But you know what? If Alec Pantaleo makes a team, I'd be real happy for him. James Green just got his hip surgery. He said he's feeling good. And, he lost to Jesse Mendez, but that's not really a bad loss because Jesse Mendez barely lost to Zane at the Olympic trials. So,
Jesse Mendez is a dog. Also,
I would say that the top 3 guys are the definite favorites. Like they're on a level above the others, I would say.
Okay.
So you want me to pick? I'd say I'm gonna go James Green.
I was gonna go him, so I'll go Jordan Oliver, only because we put him
Awesome.
on a thumbnail, baby. But let's move on. What does that take us to? 79 final.
79.
79 kilograms. Marsteller there, the PA boy, the BEG Wrestling local, the #1 seed. Kevin, talk about it.
Yeah, we all remember his match with Burroughs. They wrestled in 2 Final X's in a row, and then the last time, Marsteller basically had to beat him 3 times, if you remember, because the one time the match ended, and they threw a brick and they did the singlet pull, so then Jordan Burroughs won the match. Remember that? And it was the second match, I think, or the first match. I think it was the first one, but anyway. And then the third match was that controversial thing that I can't stand about freestyle, where was it Jordan Burroughs double leg that took him, or was it Marsteller that was throwing him over when they went out of bounds? And they ended up giving the points to Marsteller. And at that point, we saw Jordan sitting in the middle of the mat for quite some time, looking like he might take his shoes off, I remember. But then, and then looking here, what else is interesting is we got O'Toole and Carr in this bracket. So their rivalry could possibly continue.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fun to see again? But before you move, is this Burroughs? I mean, Burroughs obviously looking to. Wait, has he been on the mat since the controversial ending there in Penn State? Is this the first time back on the mat?
No. You know how happy he is to be home in Omaha, Nebraska right now for this? If it was at Penn State, he would not be participating, I bet.
But this is the first time back for Burroughs, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't know,
If you remember, folks, the controversial walk-off and the match with Messenbrink, right?
Yeah, it was Messenbrink. Well, Nolf, no, he
Well, he lost to
he lost
Nolf,
to
but
Nolf, and that's when the fans were going nuts. But then when he also Messenbrink was, remember, he was just instigating him over and over, and he Burrows slammed his head on the mat.
yep.
Uh,
Wow.
so yeah, that was.
Burrow's coming back with a vengeance. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
you know what else we forgot is it in here? Is Levi Haynes is also in this weight.
Whoa.
And I don't think he is
I did see
seated
that.
on. Yeah. So Levi Haynes is in here. I don't know. I imagine he's going to be.
Oof.
It's
I
tough
would,
to say because it's like you would think maybe fourth or fifth, but then it's like, well, Carr won
I was
NCAA's
gonna
last year at
say
a
you
higher
almost
weight
have to
than
put
him.
him at 6 behind Cars, where I would
Yep.
plug Levi Haynes in, folks. The Penn State, along with their lineup coming up here shortly, folks. But
Yeah.
stay
So
tuned.
this weight, I mean, I'm curious to see. O'Toole should be a pretty decent size because this is 174 pounds, the weight he's moving up to in college now. And David Carr's been practicing with Jordan Burroughs lately. They've been going at it. Hunter Garvin is tough dude, man. He in both freestyle and Greco got, let's see, that's about it. I mean, you're looking at Derringer, obviously is a beast. He almost he scored 4 on Brooks. I remember at the Olympic trials. He gave Brooks a really good match, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Derringer is tough. Derringer is tough, man. But I gotta say, I'm taking the one and only to come out of this. Jordan Burroughs. Looks like Cole Young comments Burroughs' career is over. Apparently not. Apparently not. Jordan's got something to say, folks. To
I think he's probably
maybe some of the
making fun
fans
of
who
the-
had that to say to him last time he was up in State College, Pennsylvania. But is that who you're taking, Kevin?
Yeah, I think he's so, man. It's going to be tough because I was going to say he's so smart, but man, Marsteller is just so smart too. I think I'm going to go with Burroughs though. I'm going to, I imagine he's been training like a madman all summer, and I kind of hope it is Burroughs because I feel like he does a little bit better internationally than Marsteller does.
And boy, does he have a chip on his shoulder right now, folks. I will say before we move on to the Penn State lineup, potential lineups here, looks like we have a comment that by Juan Mogan, Levi has had trouble in freestyle, which is actually a legitimate point. That is a legitimate point. So I would definitely move him, slide him into the 6.
And that kind of brings you into the segue with Penn State because Levi. Yep. I mean, people say he lost to Facundo, 6-0. But the year before he was in the U20 trial finals with Messenbrink, and one of the matches Messenbrink won decent, but the other one was really tight. Levi is tough, man, and I'm curious to see how big he's gonna be, because one thing interesting is he's the only Penn State guy going to this. I thought we'd see Messenbrink, even though he's in U23s. I thought we'd see him go to this at 79, but he probably doesn't want to go to Nebraska after the whole Jordan Burroughs thing. But this, anyway, solidifies to me that Levi Haynes is taking a red shirt. The fact that he's the only one that is wrestling in this. Because why not Facundo? Why not Facundo? Why not Messenbrink?
Only further confirmation from what we have said. Boy, do we call it out early here, Kevin?
We do, man. We don't get a lot of credit, but we do. We do call some good stuff. We don't get any credit, but
Levi's going to be. Here's your green light indicator. Levi is redshirting this year, but Kevin, I have the season lineup, and red shirts here up. Do you want to go into what you believe is Plan A for Penn State and their lineup?
Yeah, so this is interesting. So this is what I originally thought the lineup would look like. I thought, Lillidahl would be there. What's his name? Nagao supposedly has gotten cleared, or he's going to get cleared for a medical red shirt. So I originally thought Braden Davis would be redshirting this year, but it sounds like Nagao, who has already used his red shirt, so it would have to be that he took a medical, or if he wasn't going to get the medical, it probably would be Nagao starting at 33 and Braden Davis taking a red shirt. But if they can get the red shirt, a medical red shirt, because he's obviously not 100%, then Braden Davis is going to wrestle his true sophomore year at 133. And then Bartlett and Van Ness, that's kind of an obvious, those two. Kazak, he missed weights at U20 trials for 70 kilograms, which is 153 pounds. So people are like, well, he started out at 141. Well, he's growing. You know, he's a young kid. He's growing. And he could easily fit in at 157. I've been looking at people posting up and down about Messenbrink, and it's crazy. Messenbrink is going to be a 165 lifer at Penn State. He is not going to go any other weight. He's already used his red shirt. And he's going to be a 74 kilogram, 165 pound guy. People are talking about him going down to 57. I'm like, why would he do that? He is going to steamroll everyone next year, 165. The number 2 ranked guy is Caliendo, who he tech-falled last year at Big Tens, and he beat him 3 times. So why, when you've tech-falled the number 2 guy, why are you going to screw with that and have him go suck weight or, you know what I mean? He's a Hodge contender. So he's going to be at 65. And then I figured, okay, 74, Zach Ryder can take a red shirt because he's an incoming freshman. Facundo's already used his red shirt. And Carter supposedly is going 84. So that's why I put the Facundo, Carter. 97, it would be Barr or Cochran. Both of these guys have already used their red shirts. And then you got Kirk Flick at 285. Now, here's the kind of interesting thing is you flip over to Plan B.
Okay. Let me just clarify. Is this like Plan A, meaning the plan that you most expect to happen, or the ideal plan for Penn State's best lineup?
Really, it was just labeled so we can know which is which. Plan A is the lineup that's what I really thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be the lineup. Now, Plan B, this lineup, Alex Facundo, I found out, certified at 157.
Yes, comment. Adam Fellers, baby. Facundo certified at 157 yesterday.
That's what I said there. Yeah. He weighed in 162 or 3. So now hearing this, I'm like, what is going like? And you saw that picture, right? I think we got it. That picture where he's looking small, man.
Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about when Nolf is coaching, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let me throw that up real quick for everyone to see.
Look at him, you're like, what's going on? This guy's not a 174. So Facundo, so I'm like, okay, now I understand. Facundo is going to go 57, and then Kazak will take a red shirt because Kazak has a red shirt to burn.
Yep. Okay. And hold on. Let's go to Plan B. Give me a second here so we can clarify what we're talking about. Plan B now up on the screen, folks. Go ahead, Kevin. This is Plan B for Penn State lineup.
So then looking at this, okay, so if Mitchell's 65. He's not going to go anywhere. He's 65. Zach Ryder can slide right in at 74 now, and you put Carter in at 84, Joshua Barr, and then Kirk Fleet. So this is what would make sense based on Carter's going 84 and Facundo certified at 57. He's certified for a reason, you know? It makes sense for him to go. So then we go to our last plan here. Now this one is all my speculation. It's all my speculation. I haven't heard anything. So
this is the least likely of the 3, you would say.
Now this Carter to me doesn't look that big, like compared to like previous years.
We're going to talk more about his size here shortly. Sorry, Kevin.
I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think maybe, they pulled the shades over our eyes with the Facundo thing. Maybe Carter's going 74. Maybe that's been the plan the whole time. We don't know. We don't know. Now,
wouldn't surprise
either way, he's going to have a tough, if you say 74, you got O'Toole that bumped up, Hamidi that bumped up. It's, it'll be tough, but Carter's a 4-time NCAA champ. If he goes 84, he's got Keckeisen. So I don't know. I think it's a possibility. Now, if that happens, then you redshirt Zach Ryder, and then Joshua Barr fits into his natural weight at 84, and then 97 Cochran and Kirkfleet. So this is just speculating. I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me if all of a sudden we saw Carter go 74 by the looks of him. And I see the comment you put up there about Davis would roll
Nagao from Austin.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. The reason that I had him in there is all based on red shirts. You know what I mean? Who fits where? It's not necessarily saying that Nagao's going to go here because he can beat Davis. It's just that Nagao doesn't have a red shirt to burn. Davis does. So that's kind of how I worked these lineups. So, What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're a betting man, Kevin, who would you put your money on these three? I got to put them all back up again. Let me take one final look before I give you my final answer. But as I do that, folks, I will say there is basically a 100% guarantee that one of these three will be accurate, right, for match number one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be plan B.
That's how I put up on the screen. That was going to be my bet, Kevin. If I'm a betting man, and I am, if I could bet it.
Order, I'd say B, C, A. I mean, Facundo is going to be 57. He's certified for a reason. That's why he's there. So I think plan A is right out the door. Sounds like Kazak will be redshirting Levi. But, yeah, I think that's what – so you go with B as well?
I do. Yes. That's what I was going to go with. So, all right. Any final thoughts on the Penn State lineup, man? Real quick, we got to keep it rolling here.
No,
next
we're good,
topic.
Man.
Let's go. Let's move on to the next topic, which was the hot topic of the week, folks, and probably what most people probably kind of wanted to tune in here for. But let's put up the screen. There was a series of tweets between Carter and AJ. And things got a little ugly. They got a little dicey here. You got a picture here of Carter up with, who's he up here with, Kevin? Before I go through the series.
I don't see the pic, so I'm not quite sure.
There's a picture.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a series of tweets, and let's start with the first one out of AJ, okay? And AJ basically tweets out that he's going to make a comeback. A lot of talk out of Carter bumping up. He doesn't see it coming. He needs him to come to 197, okay, right? And then we get
before that even though was the flow wrestling with Chael, where AJ thought that Carter could possibly be going up to 97 because that was the talk, and he said he's a big guy, he's a tough kid, He's big. I have a ton of respect for him. And then, like, the bipolar part or whatever kicked in, and all of a sudden he went from he was in the weight, pumping some iron, felt good about himself, and just, horrible time for him to ever tweet when he's in the gym, obviously. So, sorry, go ahead. I didn't cut you off, but yeah, that's first he was
there's been a lot of tweets out of AJ. I follow AJ. He's got a lot of tweets, man. And you saw that video for 88 Visual, AJ. I could improve your. I'll get into it here, but anyway, Carter responds here with a what?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
What in the world, dude? So I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Basically, he says he'll do it. He wants throw down a lot of money, and he wants it to be a 190, and that's it. And put your money where your mouth is, and then maybe some vulgar images. What the
See, that's where
my goodness.
Where I have like a problem. It's like, okay, man, like AJ is goofy, you know what I mean? And he can be whatever sometimes, but nothing he said was really like vicious, is like you can't handle the horsepower, he's just talking trash, right? But Carter kind of goes a little like medieval on him, you know what I mean? Like and it's funny because some people are like, how much you guys want to bet that these guys are collaborating on this and it's all a thing? I'm like, no, dude, I don't think AJ's gonna want it being said that he like touches kids and stuff on these. Like, come on, dude, you know what I mean? It's just not. He's not going to agree to that. So no, it's not collaborated at all. But I think that he kind of went over the line. And even at the end when he's like, "I'll smash your face," and that's just not like a normal like thing that you hear. That's not. He's pissed. Like he has some serious hatred towards him. And meanwhile, the whole time, neither one of these guys, in my opinion, even want to wrestle each other because. AJ speaks out after he knows Carter's going to go down, and then Carter says, "I'll meet you at 190," when he knows damn well AJ can never make 190 or put $300,000 down.
I mean, first let me finish the timeline, because then obviously, I mean, you didn't think AJ was going to respond to that, dude. You're out of your brain. AJ comes back a long-winded. Has anyone seen this little punk? Has me dead, classless clown, yada yada, a lot. But Kevin, yeah, I mean, whoa, what in the world is happening? First of all, I kind of like it, dude, but I gotta give my personal advice to both of these guys, okay? Because the offer's out there, the extension's out there to let me be your media guy. I could vastly improve both of you. Obviously, Carter got a little hostile, dude. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know anything about this, but that would be something I would do after a night I had a couple too many drinks or something. Probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. And AJ,
you're like, "Oh, did I send that? Oh man."
Yeah, and it's like, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't have made that public. That's how I feel. But anyway, then AJ is just, dude, come on, man, kind of a cornball. I hate to say it, he's kind of a cornball, dude. Like, but at least that's like not hostile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
like,
not. Yeah,
but
he's not saying anything. I know people don't like AJ, and I know a lot of people favor Carter in this, but really, man, if you look at it, if you just take if these two guys are at, I was going to say like, Ryder, and I was going to name another school, but I just can name his school, Cal State Bakersfield. You look at this and you're like, man, one is over the edge, like I think if he would have kept it at your splits are awesome, like, because that was really funny, or nobody wants you. That's funny stuff, and that's fine. But then you get into the other stuff. It's like, all right, man, it just doesn't look really that good.
Yeah, they both need to get a little more savvy with their trash talk.
And also, I mean, what would this really be if they did wrestle? A 1-to-1 in sudden victory match because neither one of them are going to shoot.
Yeah, it definitely would be very boring. But
yeah, and if there was a takedown, that would probably end in a fight because whoever hits the takedown is going to whisper sweet nothings in the other's ear, and there's going to be elbows flying.
100%, dude. 100%. All right, man. Real quick, let's go down Bo Basset quick because we got Wrestle MATNESS on the line here. We got to talk about him. We're running long, man. So Bo Basset, another week is past, folks, and we have the schools remaining left up on the screen. Okay, and a couple visits that he made this week. I'm going to show you Ohio State. The Buckeyes, okay, legit contender, I would say, and then also Missouri visit. I would say maybe not quite as much of a contender as Ohio State, but who am I? I'm not Bo Basset. So up now are the schools left remaining, Kevin. Anything left? Anything in particular? Pretty much everyone we expected here, right?
Yeah, I mean, the highlighted ones are the ones that he has scheduled home visits with, which are on the right. So in case anyone's wondering, that's what those 9 are. I was kind of surprised to see Princeton in there, I guess, as a home visit. I was kind of surprised that NC State was cut so soon, to be honest with you. They were the last team cut. And looking at this, I mean, someone mentioned that his girlfriend is in the Air Force or something.
Whoa!
I think that's why. I only think that's why they're on the list, though. I don't think that they're a contender. I think Ohio State is very much a contender, though. I think Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, Cornell, yeah, maybe. But Oklahoma State, obviously, I'd say that's it. That's it. He's not going to Division II, Pitt, Johnstown.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, what I find very interesting is the order of these visits, okay?
Yes.
And most notably, he saved Penn State for last.
Yep.
To me, I'm sorry, I'm going to read the writing on the wall, folks. It looks like Penn State is the leader in the clubhouse currently. Now, things could change. But if I was a betting man, which I am, I think that's who I put my money on right now, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at this too. Okay, so he's going to be a junior this coming year, senior the following year. So the Penn State room is going to be loaded even when he comes in. I mean, you're going to have PJ Duke there, a year older than him.
That's certainly a factor. That's a negative factor. Is the depth at Penn State, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Bo can't get a spot in there, but especially since these guys are going to be leaving little by little at Penn State, but. I think I would say Penn State, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Iowa.
Okay.
Those are my top 4.
Those are top 4 for Bo Basset. We got to move on, man, because we got Aaron from WrestleStat on the line to break down a huge weight class here. Hang on. Give me a second here. It's 177 to 184. Boy, Aaron's been hanging on a long time. We were running a little long, Kevin. What is going on?
We had a lot of stuff to go over, I guess, hopefully. Okay. I can't believe it. We've been on an hour, though.
But, hey, he is here. Aaron is here. We have the bracket up here, Aaron. And I have all of the first round matchups here. And we don't have to go through all of them, but let's touch on some of these. We have some huge names. Most notably, Cale Sanderson, the number 1 seed in this bracket, but I would argue, Aaron, not necessarily maybe the favorite to win it all. Welcome to the show, Aaron. Thanks for hanging on.
Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it. This bracket's pretty stacked. Before we get in the bracket, I do want a great show so far, and we do have the brackets up for the World Trials on Wrestle MATNESS. So,
nice.
Go check that out, and like you said, they might change in the morning a little bit. That you'd have to do a bracket reseed, but you could start playing around with your picks and or start your leagues and get ready for that action tomorrow.
That's awesome,
incredible.
Man. I wish I would have known that, Zach.
Yeah. Well, hey, folks, you still have time, and as Aaron mentioned, WrestleMatness.com. So they have new stuff all the time, man. So you need to get subscribed there and get engaged.
Yeah.
But Aaron,
yeah. So while you're there, you can check out the current GOAT MATNESS bracket that's up. There's 5 more hours of voting left before the bracket will be decided. We have Cale, number 1 seed. That's going to be a tough one to knock off, I think. I see him going to the finals personally, but I guess we'll see how the popular vote plays out.
Let me put up. We got to mention Cale there. His first round matchup against Dean Morrison, the 32 seed. Kevin, Aaron, any notable comments on this matchup? And then I got all every first round matchup here. We can break down and who Cale is going to see potentially in the future.
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations to Dean Morrison, but that's a tough first round draw.
Yeah.
But congratulations for making the bracket, I would say.
That's
hey,
right.
It's an honor to make this bracket, folks. WrestleMatness.com. Why don't we go to right below him in the bracket would be the next matchup, Hitchcock and Chuck Jean.
Yeah, so these are, some 70s wrestlers here, old timers. Hitchcock is from Bloomsburg in Pennsylvania, small state school. And Chuck Jean was Iowa State? Yeah, Iowa State. So one of the biggest, most successful programs at the time in the 70s at Iowa State versus a small PA state school. But Hitchcock really lit fire in his last 2 years competing. He was an outstanding wrestler his senior year in the tournament. So he's going to be a tough out for sure.
Well, why don't we do this, Aaron? you tell me what first round matchups you want to touch on. I'll put it up on the screen, and Kevin, you do the same, and then we'll just kind of go
Okay.
from our semifinals on and talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to touch base on in the first round. There's some interesting. So if you want to touch base, Aaron, second round I do, but first round not too much.
Well, the one I would like to talk about is Mitch Clark against his Buckeye compatriot Randleman. That's a pretty good first round matchup, and Mitch Clark jumped on and really helped promote this bracket, which was pretty cool. And
that's awesome.
I've been a big fan of Mitch Clark's. Followed him in college. He wrestled around the same time I was in school, and loved his style. Kevin Randleman, I'm not so familiar with, but Mitch Clark calls him the GOAT, as far as he's in his opinion. So he was, a little disappointed he drew him in the first round, but I have Clark beating him. I think that figure 4 ride was
an upset.
Was tough to, an upset.
Mitch Clark was a legend, high school legend in New York, upstate New York. He was up in the northern region, and crazy enough, he never he didn't win a state title. He lost in overtime. One of the best high school matches you'll ever see. Sorrel Gissendanger versus Mitch Clark, and then he goes from that to tech falling his guy in the NCAA finals.
Yeah, Burtis Jones from West Virginia.
What a talk about, from not winning the state title to that is unbelievable. But Mitch Clark actually wrestled the Buffalo Bills head coach in nationals one year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of his name right now, man. But that's
interesting. Why I said
Maybe we can find
Bills
that match and post it in the description, Kevin. But I will mention a couple people before we move on that are seated, and maybe Mark Schultz. Okay, you got him in here at the 3 seed going up against Jim Scher. Right? Did I say that right? But Mark Schultz, 1984 Olympic gold medal, 2-time world championship gold. Okay, 3-time NCAA champ. That's okay. Look out for Mark Schultz in the semis and the finals. On top of him, Ed Bannock, the 84 Olympic gold, 3-time NCAA champ, coming in at the 4 seed. Okay, and then where is my 2 seed? And the 2 seed, I would say Greg Jones here, Aaron. Only a 3-time NCAA champ, no Olympic golds.
No.
That one I question a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't transition into freestyle, the international style, as well as some of the other ones, I guess. But when you talk about folk style wrestling, he's a Pennsylvania legend, and then it transferred right over to the NCAAs. He's a 3-time national champion, won the OW, Hodge, one of the two. I'm not sure which one he won, but he's got quite the resume when it comes to his NCAA career, which is what we base this.
Which is what this is.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, but I just, having some gold medals there as a second reference. But, and then finally, where is it? We got Jake Herbert. They're coming in to 6 seed, which, truth be told, folks, we did a pre-recording with Jake, and I literally forgot. I guess I just forgot to hit the record button. So we talked for 30 minutes, folks, and I don't know. It was one of the most embarrassing video moments of my life. So, Aaron, and my apologies to Jake, Aaron, and all Wrestle MATNESS. But, yikes. I will make sure I don't make that mistake again. But any final comments? You guys kind of want to go to your semifinalists and finalists here in this bracket?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Kevin, you want to start?
Yeah, let me see here. So
I have the overall bracket.
I think there's some interesting matchups. I mean, looking at Gabe Dean versus Les Gutches. Les Gutches was an absolute animal, Hodge Trophy winner. These last 2 years of college, he did not give up an offensive point against him, did not get taken down or anything his last 2 years of college. So he was an animal. I saw him wrestle in the 95 NCAAs in Iowa. I got to go to that, and that was crazy. Then you got Ed Ruth and Mitch Clark. Talk about two. Nobody wants to be on the bottom in that match. Two guys that are just dominant on top. Ed Ruth with his cradle and Mitch Clark with his figure four there. And then you got Royce Elger and Ed Bannock. Just going all the way down the line. I got Greg Jones versus Keck Eisen. Yeah, so that's pretty much it with the quarter. Or
Keck
the
Eisen,
second
an 18
round,
seed. Wow. No recency
Yeah.
bias, Aaron? Seriously?
It's
I mean,
you
it's
can look at this
formal.
bracket, though.
And which
People
one of
forget
these
too, Keck Eisen
Lieberman?
had over a 90% bonus rate last year, too.
Which one of these
Yeah.
Lieberman kids is heralded as the Lehigh Goat? Is that
Mark.
Mark?
Mark, yes.
Mark Lieberman, the Lehigh
younger
Goat,
brother.
folks. The 11 seed up against Steve
So-
Bozak. Wow.
Let's see.
Okay, semifinalists. Aaron, tell me your semifinalists.
So semifinalists, I had Mark Schultz out against Jake Herbert in the bottom half, and Chris Campbell making it out against Greg Jones. I got both of my my Western PA boys making it against each other in the semis. Herbert versus Jones, and then Herbert going to the finals to meet Kale in the finals again, who beats Ruth.
Okay.
In the semis, I have Ruth beating Alger, and Kale takes Gutches down to get into that bout and then make it to the finals. And then ultimately, I have Kale winning it all over Jake Herbert.
Over Jake Herbert, the 6th seed there. Okay, Kale in the finals. Kale taking it as expected. Kevin, let's go with yours, man, and I'll wrap up mine. Which
So quarters, I had Sanderson versus Gutches, which would be like they've wrestled before, and freestyle. That'd be a great match. I had Cal. I had Royce Elger beating Mitch Clark, and then I had Sanderson beating Royce Elger. Then on the bottom half, I had Herbert over Schultz, Greg Jones over Campbell, and then Jones over Herbert. So Jones and pretty much the chalk as far as who the finalists are. Not chalk to throw all the way through, but Greg Jones and Sanderson in the final.
and who winning?
Sanderson.
Wow.
Oh, how
Dude,
boring
Kale-
of me, right?
Dude, okay. Well, unfortunately, you're both wrong, dude, because what are you talking about? Kale and Ed Bannock, okay, I'm sorry he's got Olympic gold, 3-time NCAA champion. There's your semifinal in the top end. Did I mind a okay, anyway, then you go down the bottom half. I have Mark Schultz, and have you guys even mentioned Chris Campbell, Olympic bronze medal, world championship gold, and a silver. Okay, now
You're
Keck
stuck in
Eisen.
that freestyle, though.
Yeah, but they translate, okay, in this
Okay.
bracket, in my brain.
Chris
basically.
Campbell could have very easily been a 3-timer. He was at folk style. He was pretty dominant as well. That's a good call, Chris Campbell out.
I mean,
So you have him in the semifinals, huh?
the Iowa Hawkeye, baby. Got to show my state some love. They love us out in Iowa, Aaron. I can't tell you how often I hear out in Iowa. They tell me, wow, we love you guys so much. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so I got him knocking off going to Schultz on the other semifinal, okay? And then, yes, Kale will sneak by at Bannock, okay, to make the finals, but he's going to go up against Mark Schultz. 84 Olympic gold, 2-time world championship gold medalist, and in the finals, folks, hold on, Mark Schultz knocks off Kale Sanderson. Let's go, baby. He is
I
the
like the
GOAT.
walkout music there. That's nice.
All due respect to Jake Herbert out there. I mean, I should have put him in just out of an apology I owe him, but I couldn't because,
Right.
come on,
Yeah,
Mark Schultz, dude? Really?
Watch the Schultz Bannock NCAA final if you haven't already, 'cause that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
couple
That is a good one.
big matches. Maybe we can comment in the put in the comments. But okay, great bracket. And as Aaron just informed everyone, WrestleMatness.com, you can get engaged in ones that are happening tomorrow. So
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that for sure.
Dude, everyone's doing fantasy football right now. This is fantasy wrestling, folks. That's essentially
Yep.
what this is. And, dude, if you're a wrestling fan, this is what you do. So, it's
Yep.
at
Play for free.
WrestleMadness.com.
Yep. Play,
Aaron?
WrestleMatness.com. Play for free. Get a league together with your friends, your coaching staff, your wrestle partners, and see who picks the best. It's a good time.
Let's go. And win. And win. Beat other people. Because we're all
Yep.
competitive here, right? Wow. Okay.
Oh, that was
Aaron,
fun.
well,
Thanks, guys.
yes, thank you for joining the show. And
Thanks a
you
lot.
can ever convince Jake to come on and do a recording with me again after that debacle, that clown show
Sucks.
circus
He's
I was
a
running.
funny guy, man. Too. He's
Yeah.
funny.
He
I want
says
his
he's
pic-
in. He can't wait for the next opportunity to do it. So we'll make it
Tell
happen.
him I apologize. I literally got nauseous once I realized.
Yeah, he did too. He was like, "You're not gonna believe what I did."
Unbelievable, dude. So,
He
Aaron,
had some
thank
great
you.
insight.
And we always appreciate you calling in, folks, and also always appreciate Wrestle Madness. So you can also call in. I don't know, Kevin, we're running long, but hey,
Yeah.
if anyone has any last thoughts they want to kind of talk about,
I'm good.
you are welcome to call in. Kevin, I just want to say you kind of convinced me to make the thumbnail, the World Team Trials, and I'm glad you did because I was going to make it a heavyweight bout between Carter and AJ. And you know what? Carter hasn't earned it out of that tweet. Come on, dude. You got to be better than that.
Yeah.
And
I don't.
AJ hasn't earned it because number one, he hasn't wrestled forever, and number two, dude, he's corny. AJ, if you ever watch this, and I know you will, because you used to be in Iowa, and everyone loves us in Iowa, dude. They tell us all the time. Let me be your media guy, dude. I will make legit cool reels, dude. And the same offers out to Carter. I will make you some good stuff, dude. Let me be your media manager, and I know how to handle the political, social world, so you're not stepping on people's toes, because Carter had to take it down. I know how to. I know corporate America 15 years, man. I can help you navigate that. I don't know. Some bad decisions out there.
Yeah, I
Yikes.
feel Carter's gotten a lot of. He hasn't gotten a lot of crap from people, because he's the 4-time champ Penn State, rightfully so. But I mean, you got to look at he had the going back and forth with Jordan Burroughs. Remember that? And then he said why he didn't make weight. I'm not going to say, but remember his reason for not making weight?
I don't even remember.
Because of his package, and then he doesn't make weight. He knows he's not going down. He only got down. It was like 163 pounds is the weight class, and he got down to like 170. So he says he's gonna spit in his face and all this stuff, just kind of stuff that's not I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound like an old guy, but there's different kinds of trash talking, and
Listen, dude, you cannot come across as hostile. Whether you are hostile or not, you cannot show that to the public, dude. You can say what you want to say in a funny satire way, almost, and it not break any of these rules or be hostile. You can be savvy with it, dude. There's no savviness out of either of them. Although, dude, part of me, man, I will say, AJ's are just they are.
Dude,
you can't not watch those, dude.
I've never ever stuck up for AJ ever in anything, right? And I'm not necessarily
sticking up for AJ here a little bit.
However, all his stuff was fine, man. He's it's so cheesy, but he didn't attack Carter's anything he didn't go over the edge like he did. You know what I mean? Even after his last reply when he was you hear this Carter kid, that was after Carter put all that bullcrap about, all that heavy stuff on there. AJ still came back and played it, PG. So for once I give him credit for doing that, playing it I don't give him a lot of credit, but I will give him credit for not going over the line.
We'll say this. AJ's got to be on the uppity up, dude. I didn't Willie old Willie Saylor put something out there that AJ already was in legal trouble out there wherever he is.
Yep.
But it's
Supposedly
already over,
it was
so it's
just
not going to affect his.
Yeah, it was like an existing.
Why am I not surprised, dude?
Resisting arrest is what it was. I don't know any details, but apparently it was.
They pulled the old Tyreek Hill on him.
Yeah.
Oh.
And apparently it all blew over or whatever, and everyone's like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. It's like, well, yeah, existing arrest is kind of a big deal, But yeah, I wish guys like that had a better, I'd say, support system around them. People that love them, telling them, what you're doing is not okay. Because what I think is the people around him are just, yeah, you're the man. Yeah, tell him that. That's fun. Instead of being like, dude, let's talk about what you're doing and let's fix this. You're only, when you're a Division I champ as a true freshman. Yeah, Division I champ as a true freshman, and then your choices are Cal State Bakersfield and Rider and Northern Colorado. Those are your three choices. Nobody else is putting there's a reason for that,
Yeah, but I will say this, Kevin. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Everything been told up to this point. If AJ stays completely clean from this point forward and only focuses on wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, he is in prime position to become a 4-time NCAA champion, right? Like that is actually possible.
It is possible. I don't see how he wins it this year. I don't see how.
He was already one of the youngest ever at 197. What? But
right,
come on.
But since then, I mean, he had an overtime match with Glacier, and Glacier won 1 and 2 at NCAAs. I'm not
but
saying
maybe
he
wasn't
can't do
a
it.
lot of stuff happened to him, but he's now has this just blessing to just be able to sweep it all right under the rug, dude, and start from over.
Can we talk about how he has eligibility? How do you go to college, take like 3 years off, and you still have 3 years? Does it even matter anymore? Like, does
That's
like, is Kyle Dake coming back? Kyle Dake's coming back to Cornell? Gonna wrestle? What's going on?
Spencer might. I see Mark Hughes. Mark's a big Iowa guy. Commenting here, I hope Basset goes to Penn State and fizzles out. Wow, shocking. I think Mark runs. He runs a Facebook group out there. What is his? The Scramble? I think it's a Scramble, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a Scramble. Mark, big fan. I met Mark in State College during
the trials.
At the World Team Trials. Very nice guy.
Olympic
he's
trials,
one of. I walked up, never met him before, and I didn't hear him that clearly, but I'm pretty sure I walked up on him as he was telling a group of people how much he loves BEG wrestling. I didn't hear it completely clearly, but Mark, hey, shout out Mark. We love you too. We love you out in Iowa too. And hey, that's why we do the show, baby. People said we're Penn State homers. That's the tag.
Yeah, we're not. We're not. No way, man.
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, the only Penn State homer around here is Dad Wayne, who's been on vacay, but he's back soon.
And I'd like to just stress one more time that I am not Wayne's replacement. This is another show. I started watching BEG because of Zach and Wayne. I'm not replacing Wayne. I'm just the other show. So I know people get really worked up, and I think they go in and they're like,
we have 2 shows.
Hate this guy.
The Tuesday show with Wayne, the Friday live. Tuesday show is obviously not
so this
live.
Is
it's
different.
pre-recorded.
We've been doing this for 6 months now.
We have added this show, the Friday show, to supplement the Tuesday show, and also to add another element of being live, so you guys have the opportunity to call in. We haven't even heard from Marty this week. What the heck is going on with Marty, dude? He must have forgot. He's in a different time zone out there, dude. 3 weeks in a row.
I think he's afraid
I expect
to tell
see him and Bourmet together. I'm waiting on him and Bourmet. The trophy presentation, folks. We talked to Bourmet, who called in live. Touche to Bourmet, dude. Big Bourmet fan.
That's why he didn't call, bro. He didn't call because he hasn't given him that damn trophy. He knows we're going to ask him.
He's scared now. Marty's scared.
Marty,
hey, Illinois boy's scared. Why am I not surprised? I don't know. Kevin, anything else, man? We went through a lot, dude. I think we covered a lot. The Penn State lineup was very intriguing, dude. Penn State fans,
Yeah,
are
man.
gonna
We
love
might
that.
have to do like a breaking show, depending on how this weekend goes, or something maybe.
When does this all wrap up?
Depending on if. What's that?
When's the? You mean after the trials?
Yeah, after this weekend, if anything crazy happens.
Okay. Hey,
Might have
man,
to jump
I'm
on.
down. Let's do it, baby.
Okay.
Let's do it, folks. Cause hey, I was out there. I'm out there practicing, dude. I'm gonna play it one more time, folks. The video I made from 88 Visual, multiple time Emmy Award winning. So before I put that out, Kevin, let me put your final thought. Let me get your final thoughts here. Friday the 13th. Woo. It's scary.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. And
Appreciate everyone watching.
Call in next week.
Appreciate the comments, folks. And hey, if I didn't get your comment, I wish I could. But Kevin, thanks for joining, man. Thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe. Call in next week. And season is right around the corner. So hey, BEG Wrestling. We are
Here.
here. All right.